I'll get this straightened out soon. That ought to do. Okay, go get my computer real quick. And post the link. Instagram and YouTube and get the link and we could post it. There's the link. Copy. How can I not post stories on here? Create. No. Okay. Well, that's stupid. I guess I'll... Oh, we got two people here. Whatever. I don't know how to... I'm on my computer trying to post the live stream link. I don't know that you can like post stories from the computer. So, whatever. Forget it. Anyway. Oh, I lost somebody. Excellent. Okay, not possible. Quick Google search tells me that. We'll just open up the live stream on here, turn the volume all the way down, and then that way I can see if anybody says anything in the chat. Hey, 3 people. All right, we'll just get started. So, this is my comic, Gut and Ghost. I just had printed up a bunch of them last week and sold out. Getting more from the printer on Friday. And let's see here. What else is there to say? I did put a digital version up if anybody's interested in procuring a copy. Hey, Avalyn, sorry. I don't know how to say your name, but thanks for stopping by. But if you guys want a digital copy, I have them available on my Shopify. You'll get a PDF download that you should, you'd be able to read on any computer or device that, allows you to look at PDFs. And you'll also get the page layout so you can print your own Gut and Ghost, and you can save on shipping that way and get a physical product in your hand without having to wait for the mailman. So if you want that, there's a link in my profile. Just follow the link tree and hit the Shopify or store button. I forget what I have it labeled as. And give me a follow on Instagram if you want. But today we're working on a follow-up to that comic. So let me move that aside. Out with the old, in with the new. And basically, what I have here is I wrote a quick outline last week. I never date any of these things. I got to get in the habit of dating these things. And then I started going from that outline, and these are called thumbnails, thumbnailing the pages, so I get an idea of what the composition will look like on the big paper when I do take it to the big paper. So opposed to how I did this last time, I was kind of just making it up as I went along. You know, I'd probably thumbnail a page or two here and there, but I didn't really have like a full outline for what I wanted to do with the comic, which I think helped and hurt it in probably equal amounts. But so this time around, I'm more regimented in trying. Hey, Rai, thanks for stopping by. Trying to get this process tightened up a little bit and go in with a little bit more of a plan than I did last time. Kind of not necessarily salvage what I had, but you know, make it all coalesce into something that I think is more or less easy to follow and has a through line. But so I'll just start by reading the outline here. Basically, the Gut and Ghost 2 is going to start out with Ghost and Double Ghost, and they're having breakfast at the kitchen table. Gut enters, they talk, and basically the gist of what they talk about is who are you, how did you get in here, etc., etc. They make a connection to Brainlord's non sequitur explanation from pages 3, 4, and 5 of the comic, the first comic go around. And they ultimately decide to go back to Brainlord for more information on that story and see if there's a way to get Double Ghost back to the suburbs and figure out a way to get him into the forest park he was making laps around. Brainlord doesn't know, but goes on a more gives them a nonsense explanation similar to what we saw in the first comic. They leave puzzled and discouraged, and when they get back to their apartment, at their door is one of Brainlord's minions, the a Teratoma boy, and I kind of think I want to put him in like a fedora and like a trench coat, like you know, like the Woodward and Bernstein like deep throat, you know. You give him like a hint of mystery, but he's leaning against the wall, all casual, and he says, "I know who you are, I know where you're from, and I know how you can get back." And they follow him outside, climb into a storm drain, or I'm rethinking the storm drain. I think I want it to be one of those like big, kind of like tunnels that, you know, storm water runs off into from a storm drain. It just seems to make sense because usually, you know, storm drain will get the rain water, that'll run down, and then it'll run off into like this kind of like water runoff runway into like a stream or whatever. Anyway, they climb into the storm drain, through the sewers and waterways, and come out into another storm drain in the neighborhood. What now? We walk, says Double Ghost. They get to the crosswalk where we saw Double Ghost get hit by a UFO in the first issue. Double Ghost is scared. Ghost and Gut provide moral support. Maybe Ghost decides to go first because he's incorporeal and he can't get hit by anything. Gut and Double Ghost start to step off. That triggers the UFO to fly by, missing them, and Ghost goes through it. So I think that'll be a fun page to draw. They see the UFO pull into a driveway down the street, and they decide to confront. Gut and Double Ghost are fired up, ready to yell at the driver. Get to the house. Out of the UFO steps a little old lady. Gut starts yelling, "Lady, what's wrong with you? You almost hit us," etc., etc. She's taken aback and very apologetic. What did I write here? I don't know what that word is. I can't read my own handwriting. Oh yeah, she invites them inside for lunch and serves them sandwiches. A little boy is watching TV and they join him. So that's basically the outline for what I have here. And I'll scooch these thumbnails a little bit closer so y'all can see. But this will be the first page, and as I've been thumbnailing, I've been going back and making little brackets to kind of like notate like what happens on each page. Basically you have Ghost and Double Ghost. Double Ghost is eating breakfast. Ghost says, "You sure are hungry. I've never met a ghost that could eat." "Well, I'm not a ghost. I'm a tulpa." "Good morning. Who's your friend, Ghost?" Is he a Teratoma boy?" "Well, I thought he was a Double Ghost, but it turns out he's a tulpa." "A tulpa? What the hell is that?" And he's I like the idea of it crunching even though he has no teeth. And he's eating a slop meal. And then we have Double Ghost, he says, materialized thought form, typically human, but I'm a mutant. There was some indecision. A lot of this dialogue is kind of truncated. It'll get rewritten as I take it to the big page. Yeah, that makes sense. Why are you in our apartment? Well, I was walking down the street, so I did like his fingers kind of reenacting what we saw in the first issue, trying to figure out how to get in this park when blammo, hit by a UFO, woke up on your couch. And he's using the bowl to smash into his fingers there. And then I thought I wanted 3 panels here, but I just want 2, so I X'd that one out. And then they immediately recognize the story and they both say, Brain Lord. And then we cut to back to Double Ghost. Brain Lord, he sounds smart. You think he knows how I can get back to the back to the park? I don't know. I thought he was full of it, but you're proof he might know something useful. I guess we could ask him. Oh God, I hate going there and having him waste our time. Well, he did give us that candle, and it looks like he wasn't completely lying about Double Ghost here. How do we know he isn't some psychic parasite? That candle could have been what's infected us. But you wouldn't know. You can't smell the damn thing. Much like a parasite, he's eating all of my damn food. And then Double Ghost is kind of slouched, all sullen, still eating the food with one of his faces, and he says, I'm not a parasite. I'm a tulpa, and I was just hungry. And he shoves the bowl back over to Gut. Because in this panel, he started, he grabbed Gut's bowl of slop meal and started eating it. I really do just want to get out of here and back into the park. And then I figured this would be a fun thing to do, is have his faces, because he's got 2 faces, and then the dividing line that goes into shadow here would kind of be like the gutter of the panel. In the shade, among the trees, a soft bed of grass to lay down and rest on, relax and breathe, safe from that oppressive sun and the heat. God, the heat, always radiating off the pavement, cooking me alive. But it was nice to meet you, Ghost. I'm gonna get out of your guys' hair and see if this Brain Lord knows anything. I can't shake hands. Gut, please. You know he can't go in there alone. Gut's getting exasperated. Fine, if it gets the parasite out of here and he stops eating my food, let's go. And they start walking, and then we cut to close-up of Brain Lord, because I think those are always fun. Well, 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 look who's back. Didn't I already solve your lighting problem? And that's where I ended up yesterday. And we will be continuing with more thumbnailing today. So let's go back over here and see what I have written in the outline here. So they get to Brain Lord's apartment, and he doesn't know. So how is that going to go? He gives more nonsense explanations. All right, so we're going to have at least a page of that. So let's see. Well, well, well. Look who's back. Didn't I already solve your lighting problem? Well, maybe they're going to say something about, yeah, you really solved it, or we're not here about the lights. We wanted to ask you about if you knew more about how the lights went out. So let's see. Who's going to say that, first of all? Probably Ghost. And what's that going to look like? Let's see, we're going to do a panel up top. Well, 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 look who's back. Didn't I already solve? So I'm going to kind of stop talking directly to the camera, and I might be quiet for a little bit because it just helps me to figure these things out a little bit easier. So don't mind me if I kind of just stop talking. All one of you watching now, which I appreciate you. Anyway. So it's going to be dialogue back and forth, so we should probably do smaller panels since we're going from this big panel. We don't want to do too many big ones in a row, even though I did that in the last one, but I think it was appropriate since it was kind of an intro. So let's draw. Do we want to do 2 or 3? So let's see. It's going to be Ghost. Probably Ghost would say, oh yes, you did solve the lighting problem. Should probably subscribe to myself. Let's commit here. Let's do 2 panels, because then maybe we can put Gut in the background being a little bit indignant. That gives us a little bit more space to play. And if you do 3, you gotta cut it off like maybe right there and right there. Oops. Actually, this could actually be a little bit longer. So this is the thumbnail, so I'm allowed to do things like this and have the drawings kind of look a little rough, the panels in the drawings. So probably Gut, or Ghost should be like, maybe we panel of Ghost thanking him for the lighting and then gesturing to double Ghost here. And then we'll draw Gut, like, you know, he's got his quote unquote hand on his forehead here. He's not happy about being back in the stupid apartment. I like to draw the rest of it. Let's see this a little bit too, actually. Let's zoom it in. That way y'all can see what I'm doing better. So we'll say like, oh yes, you did. But it looks like but it looks like it brought us a friend. No, that sounds clunky. But it looks like it created the conditions. We can always rewrite this. This isn't set in stone. I don't like created the condition, but it looks like maybe we say something about how they have a new roommate. So, but it looks like it brought us a new roommate. We'll just put that. That's a little placeholder. Brought us a new roommate. Maybe that dialogue could be. Then we'll make this box here. And then maybe kind of do a repeated ghost right here. I kind of want to set it up so that like when I was drawing them in the first issue and I'd have Ghost like close to the panel borders, like I wouldn't draw these panel borders. It'd kind of be like an absence because I like the, you know, and even when I did the colored the title page for the comic, I didn't color Ghost. I wanted him to be white because I like the idea of him being like an absence of, you know, that's why it's really simple. Just like his eyes are kind of the only thing that is like the mark making it, and then like his the gesture of like the outline of his body or whatever. But it's fun to play with things like that when you butt them up against these panel borders, because then I wouldn't draw it from here to here and just kind of have the panels start here, come around, and end here. So it's, you know, playing more on this idea of like absence. Um, and then he'll be like kind of gesturing over here to double Ghost, and he'll be doing something funny. Maybe he's like picking his nose or scratching himself. Maybe scratching himself and picking his nose. That sounds fun. So we'll kind of just draw the figure in real loose here because we want him to be kind of full sized. Remember, he's got two faces. So we'll just kind of abbreviate that so we know which way the faces are facing. And then I want him to be kind of standing with his like hips kind of jutting out and his shoulders a little bit back. So we'll kind of do that and make like his hips like that, make his belly, which I guess he's kind of got two bellies I think I drew him with. See, I got to keep this stuff straight is the problem. And then, you know, picking nose. And scratching himself. Again, these figures do not have to be perfect. He's got 3 legs. We're just getting, we just want an idea for the way these characters are going to take up space in the panel. And obviously, don't leave them neutered. And I'll just put a note here. Picking, nose, scratching, self. Let's do scratch, scratch. Okay. Another sip of coffee. I earned it. I think he's the one you said was, do I have enough room to write? Probably not. Responsible. I think he's the one you said was responsible for our light going out. And you see that kind of works thematically too, because I wanted him, he has a desire to get into this kind of fenced off wooded area in the middle of this like kind of suburban neighborhood. And he goes on about how he's trying to get away from the sun. And there's two, and I like the idea of there being two sides to that. He kind of just wants to relax and be in nature and blah, 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 blah. But then he's also like, I hate the sun and it's so hot, you know? I like the idea of like those two kind of, you can appreciate something for what it is, but you can also appreciate it because you hate the other thing, you know, if that makes any sense. All right, so anyway, so it looks like you did, or yes, you did, but it looks like we have you brought us a new roommate. I think he's the one you said was responsible for our light going out. And then maybe we do like a panel like this, like a long horizontal panel, you know, where Brain Lord's kind of leaning down with all his brains and stuff. Well, they're tumors, but he thinks they're brains. Then he seems to have a lot of people convinced that they're brains. We'll kind of just get this abbreviated on here real quick. What kind of space is that going to take up? There's his nose. Maybe he's got kind of a curious look on his face. Put his hands down here. We'll just know that those are his hands. That's a bad hand. That's okay. These drawings are meant to be bad. They're just, again, they're placeholders. We're just trying to figure out use of space, kind of the shape of each one of these compositions and panels, and how it's going to be, not only how it's going to be laid out on the page, but how it's going to be look inside of the panel. Which I did a little bit of. I mean, I guess I did it for just about every page in the first comic. I just didn't really write much far ahead. I kind of just made it up as I go along. So I figured if I do that and thumbnail out as many pages as possible, I have a better idea. Ideally, thumbnail out all of them. I'll have a better idea of, you know, doing the make it up as you go along process. I'll make it up as I thumbnail it rather than making it up as I'm working on the big paper. And then I grabbed this little tiny sketchbook. I think I'm going to do all my thumbnails in here because it's like, you don't have to do them teeny tiny. You can kind of get, like, a whole page is just kind of a smaller version of ultimately what I'll be working on. Alright, so he's down here. We're going to have our heroes. Maybe Guts, like, checking his watch, which is funny because he had a cloak. Like, he'll be the props guy. He'll have a watch for no explainable reason. He was never wearing a watch previously, but he's wearing a watch now simply just to check the time because he is sick of this shit. Let's kind of get all this. The other reason why I wanted Ghost to be kind of a simple character design is because, like, every time I draw Guts, I got to draw, like, this abbreviated digestive system. Which I think I've gotten pretty good at kind of banging out in a few seconds. Speaking of, when I get more physical copies of Gut and Ghost on Friday from the printer, if you order one, I do sketch on the back of each one of them. I kind of sketched the same thing just because it does get it's pretty hard to come up with a new idea for each order. Especially I didn't anticipate to sell as many as I did. I'd like to have him, like, tapping his foot too. Like when you make Sonic the Hedgehog sit for too long. So I'm gonna put tapping, quote unquote, foot and checking watch. I'm going to put that too, just in case I go back and can't understand what I drew. And then we'll put, alright, so let's see, he was scratching himself and picking his nose here. What should he be doing here? Probably a little bit under the microscope, so maybe he's, like, kind of straightened up, come at attention. We'll just kind of have that be like that. That'll do. And then we'll put arrow DG. ghost is just kind of be floating here. And then probably put some like Teratoma boys in the background, but we can get that figured out when we go to the big paper. Alright. So, what is Brainlord going to say? Like, Oh, maybe he's going to say, like, yeah, he'll say, like we get this moment of tension. Like, he's going to give some big non sequitur explanation. And he'll say, not the guy, can't help you. I like that, because you know what? We spent a lot of time in Brainlord's domain in the first issue. It'd be a nice kind of bait and switch to kind of think we're going to spend, oh God, we're going back here, and maybe to gut satisfaction, he's just like, yeah, I can't help you. And as he's doing that, what's he going to be distracted with? Like, maybe he's like sparking up a joint, or he's going to be doing something that's sparking up a joint seems too obvious. Maybe he's got some pizza rolls that are so. Oh, here's an idea. Background. All right, let me put the word bubble here, and then I'll just notate this because I'm not going to draw all this action. Background. Teratoma boys microwaving pizza rolls. So one of the things that's good inspiration for this Brainlord character is kind of like teenager style behavior, but you're too old to be doing it anymore. So yeah, he lives in like an unkempt, sloppy apartment, and there's garbage out. You know, it's basically like your what's that subreddit? The gaming dungeons or something like that, but get like a game station, but it's like not good game stations. You know, it's like everybody's pile of garbage on top of their PC, and old cigarette butts and bottles of urine and all kinds of. Basically, he's an unpleasant guy, and it's definitely a lot of inspiration from like somebody you would see like posting on 4chan back in the day. Okay, so you're not the guy. So we'll lay this out like this again. We're always going for like kind of a simple layout. I think that's been a good rule of thumb for this comic, just because it gets so off the rails pretty easily. Nah, you're not the guy. You're not the guy. So we want him like shaking his head. So we'll put some like little motions here. Yeah, I forgot. He's always got snot dribbling down his nose. Which might make it fun to make it kind of fling off while he's shaking his head. No. He's not the guy, which kind of reinforces this idea that they think Brainlord knows everything, but he's kind of wrong, or he just doesn't care. But he's not a reliable source of information, whatever it may be. Even though he was kind of, I guess, in a way, telling the truth about why their light went out. And then we'll put down here, like, beep. And kind of make it those jagged word bubbles so it looks like it's like an electronic going beep. Nah, not the guy. But you're welcome to stay for pizza rolls. And maybe he's, the Teratoma boys will have them holding up a plate of pizza rolls. Pizza rolls. If you want to mail me a pizza roll. You guys ever watch Mr. Plinkett on, like those Mr. Plinkett reviews? I guess he's not doing those anymore because, did Red Letter Media ruin movie theaters and movies and movie criticism? Did they just ruin, or are they responsible for the state of the world? I would say yes. But you know what? I'll still watch their videos. They're pretty funny. And they know a bunch of stuff about movies that I don't know. And they'll watch a bunch of terrible movies that I will never ever sit through, and it's fun to watch them suffer through those. So maybe we got like Teratoma boys kind of propping this plate up on their back or something. They're doing it the hard way, so. Got his hands up here, maybe. It would be like a shitty shoulder there. Maybe there's like a little one right here in the middle. And he's like farting in his face. Poot. And then he'll be looking away. I like the idea that there's like little bits of action going on for any scene the Teratoma boys are in. Like, they're doing his bidding, but there's other stuff that's happening to them. Like, you know, when they first visited the Brain Lord apartment, I had them like in a fist fight. In the background, there's some of them smoking cigarettes and having a chat. You know, they got their own rich world in which they live. I'm gonna put farts in face because that is an important note to put. We're getting silly with this, folks. If you guys joined the stream and at all thought it was gonna be serious, I'm sorry. And then maybe there's like a kind of a tall one over here, and he's not using his back, he's lifting with his legs. He's got so again, these aren't great drawings, but they read. I think if you looked at them, you could tell this is a plate of something. And then we'll have Ghost in the middle as always. Gut, he's like, ooh, I didn't eat. Maybe I'll have some of Brain Lord's food. Maybe this is the first moment of kind of silent bonding between him and Double Ghost. And they're both kind of drooling. Now this isn't to scale, but that's okay. They're both kind of drooling over the pizza roll. So let's draw some drool. This will be a good stream to go back and reference for myself. So I'm glad I'm doing this. Might help the writing process. I might have to do this more often. But you're welcome to stay for some pizza rolls. What's funnier, pizza rolls or pizza bagels? I don't know. Probably pizza rolls. Pizza bagels are pretty basic now. Damn, I love pizza. Alright, what page is this now? This is page 6. So we'll jot that down. And then do our little funny word bubble shape for Brain Lord. He always gets his own style of word bubble. And then we go to the next page. So you're welcome to stay for some pizza rolls. Ghost can't eat pizza rolls, so he would be a good impetus to get them out of the apartment. Maybe so we'll do like a couple more panels. Goes like, are you sure? Three-legged man. He said he was walking down the street, trying to get into a park, hit by a UFO. Nope, not the guy. He just doubles down. Or maybe he'll be like, nah, the other guy was shorter. Guy I was talking about is shorter. Alright. So we'll just find some arbitrary detail to say this isn't the guy. And I think maybe height would be good. Are you sure? I don't know if we'll repeat the composition here. Actually, yeah, we should repeat the composition here and have both Gut and DG in the background eating pizza rolls. I feel like if you're going to repeat a composition, there's got to be something about it that kind of changes, so it's not necessarily a repeat, but a riff of the composition, you know? Like a yes and of the composition. Maybe they'll be facing each other. You know, it'd be funny is, alright, so we'll have Gut holding a pizza roll. And it's entering his mouth. He's just kind of sucking on it because he doesn't have teeth. Sucking on a pizza roll. That Jack and Diane song would be better if it was that one line was about them sucking on pizza rolls instead of sucking down chili dogs. Here's a story about Jack and Diane. Something's. What was it? When does he say sucking on chili dogs? Down by the schoolyard? No, that's Paul Simon. That's me and Julia down by the schoolyard. Sucking on chili dogs. I think he says something like that. Sucking on pizza rolls. Can't understand. And then we'll have DG back here. Just double fisting pizza rolls because he's got two faces and therefore two mouths. Cheese pull on this one. That'd be fun. Little action in the background. Little cheese pull action. Well, I've sustained like one or two people. I guess the one is me on the computer, but whoever else is here, thanks for being here. Let me see if it says if I scroll lower. No, it just says. That's alright. But I've had people come in and out, and I really appreciate that. And if you don't already, please subscribe. But I imagine anybody that's in here is probably a subscriber. If you don't follow me on Instagram, definitely do that at scoon.art. But not spelled out like it is on my YouTube. It's scoon.art. I post a lot of stuff like this and portraits and whatever else I'm up to. Loveland coffee. Can't go wrong. And we'll just put the dialogue in here. So, alright. I got too caught up in the pizza rolls here. Are you sure? 3 legs. Two faces. Hit by a UFO trying to cross a street. And then, let's see. Probably want to be Brain Lord talking with his mouth full, because I like the idea of everybody partaking in pizza rolls except for Ghost, because he can't. Furthers this separation between mind and body, or body and spirit, or mind and spirit. You know, the Holy Trinity there. It's the Holy Trinity, folks. You got God the Father, God the Son, and God the Holy Spirit. But actually, did you know those are more psychological terms? You got the body, which is God the Son, Christ made corporeal. God the Father, which is the brain, the psyche. God the Holy Spirit, which is your spirit, that consciousness, the undefined part of yourself that makes you, you. So, you know, there's a little bit more to the Bible than just killing and persecution. Everybody takes it so literally, but it's much more interesting if you don't. I think we'd be better off if we thought about these things like that. But, you know, I guess you can go the other way with that too, so I'm probably wrong. And that's okay. That's just the way that it's kind of helped me. But anyway, the issue with Gut and Ghost is that there's a separation between those, which has caused, you know, corruption, I guess. But I also just like to make bold kind of statements like that in the hopes that I'm even a little bit wrong, so that people will yell at me in the comments and then increase my, you know, interaction. Is that what it is? Engagement. That's what it is. That's what they call it. Engagement. Give him his nose. Chewing with his mouth open. How does that look? Let's maybe he's like chewing with one side of his mouth. He's got like that. Maybe like one of his teeth are there, because he's got like only a couple of teeth. Because you don't brush him. You know, he's too smart for that. Dentists, that's a scam. That's what Brain Lord said. Dentist, man, I don't go to no damn dentist. I'll brush my teeth. There's fluoride in that. I'm not trying to, whatever it is. And maybe he's got another fistful of pizza rolls he's about to jam in his maw. How long have I been going for? This is a good stream. I have no clue. I probably need to plug in my phone too, actually. Let's see. Oh no, we're doing good. Oh, we're at almost an hour. Very nice. We'll keep going. Keep this train a-rolling. So I feel like the more I get of this thumbnailed, the much easier it'll go not having to figure out this stuff on the big paper, which is like, again, I spent like 3 months on, I'm just going to show off this page because I'm very proud of this page. I spent 3 months on one of the pages in here. That's the cover of the original that I put out when I printed the book. But one of these pages here, watch me get to it. Hopefully it's on. Come on now. No, of course not. I'll have to pull it out. This page, I spent like close to 3 months sketching and trying to figure out what it would look like. And mainly the big problem was trying to figure out this anatomy and what the gait of somebody with 3 legs walking would look like. So I figured it'd be like kind of a rotational thing. I don't know. It still doesn't make a hell of a lot of sense, which is fine. It doesn't need to. It's not real. But the composition, and then I wanted it to make it look like he was in motion. Even though if I had to animate it, damned if I would know how to do that or how that exactly would look. But you get an idea from this. And then I spent a lot of time doing these like pine trees, which was like, I don't know, really fun. I really enjoyed it. You can get a closer look there. But anyway, back to the storyboard. I don't want to distract. I just really like that page and had an opportunity to show it off there. It is my channel. I can show off whatever I like. See, he's got more pizza rolls in his hand. He's about to just, it's kind of a bad drawing. That's okay. Again, we're not going for good drawings here. We're just going for layout. Nah. Guy I was talking about is taller. And probably have some like slop, pizza roll slop and debris coming out of his mouth. And then of course his always ever present runny nose. Alright, so let's get them out of here in the next 2 panels. Let's see. But sorry I couldn't help. One more brain lord. He's just saying, sorry I couldn't help. Kind of with like his hands up, like he's a little bit apologetic, like, eh. We've got a panel like that before, so. Like an apologetic surrender. Oh, whoops, I drew the thumb on the wrong side. Folks, you gotta know which side the thumbs are on when you're drawing hands. I mean, unless you're trying to draw somebody with backwards thumbs, then I guess, well, you still gotta know what side the thumbs are on so you can draw them backwards. So, but it's all about intent, is what I guess I'm trying to say. I'm intending the thumbs to be on the correct side, so for me, that initial bit of advice rings true. You gotta know what side the thumbs are on. Sorry. And then we'll do ghost exiting. He's going to exit to the left. Even though it looks like he's running back in the Brain Lord, but that's okay. We always exit to the left. Because I want this sense of we're regressing, we're going back. But it's a trick, we're not really going back. Because I read you the outline so you know where we're going. Maybe he's motioning. Come on, guys. let's go. I drink that coffee, I'm still like yawning. I'll probably finish this page up and we'll call it there. That'll be like a good little over an hour. It's good to give yourself a little break, work on something else for a bit. I got a portrait I gotta do actually. And look at that, I'm almost out of ink. So maybe the last thing I'll do is refill this ink if you guys are curious how a fountain pen is refilled with a little piston. That's what they call it, a piston. Or maybe they're in the background here still picking at the few remaining pizza rolls. Oh, we should probably put some steam lines on these ones here because they're delicious and steamy pizza rolls. I forgot to draw his hair here. Maybe they're grabbing them as they go. And it'd be funny if the Teratoma boys are still holding them up. They're not smart enough to have just set it down. They hold it up the whole time. Or maybe Brainlord makes them hold it up the whole time. Maybe he's that much of a tyrant. A teenage tyrant. So we'll have Gut with an armful of pizza rolls and DG with an armful of pizza rolls over here. And then we'll try to draw a facsimile of a smile on Gut's face because he got pizza rolls. Yum yum, pizza rolls. Am I like, I can't be the only one that like sings like old commercial jingles to myself a lot. Like I'm, you know, I'm saying pizza rolls, but I'm still thinking of the pizza bagels. And then, you know, the jingle that goes with that. The pizza in the morning, pizza in the evening, pizza at supper time. Oh, when pizza's on a bagel, you can eat pizza anytime. And then we've got like little entrails here, kind of going. And then we'll have just the top half of DG. I like the idea of him going off panel. He's got a handful of pizza rolls too. Mostly because you get to, you get to kind of just draw his genitals and just leave it at that. I think it's funny to kind of put just that as kind of like the focus of his composition here, especially because they're going to be dangling like what looks to be right over the pizza rolls. I think that's funny. Some people might not, but that's okay. You don't have to. There's his belly, bellies. All right. Excuse me. And then maybe we get a long panel here of them walking back because we don't want the big reveal just yet. The next page will be the big reveal. Put 7 down here. So if we do like a little bit of a, well, just do a side scroll. I think that's fine, right? And then Gut will be saying, well, that wasn't a complete waste. No, Ghost will be saying, you're right, Gut. That was a waste of time. And then Gut will He'll be saying, yeah, not a complete waste. And then DJ will be saying, pizza rolls. And he's shoving another pizza roll in his mouth. Holding all the other ones here, so. Not a complete waste. It's kind of funny too to draw the top half of DG going off panel too, because it kind of reminds me of the nanny from Muppet Babies. How you never really saw the top half of her, or like Mrs. Bellum. But the joke, rather than it being like a woman, is that it's two dongs. So we get a foot. This foot. I know I said I didn't really know how the walking would work, but I guess it goes something like that. Again, don't mind the crude drawing here. We'll make this look good on the big paper. It's fine for now. And then this hand comes across here. He's holding the pizza rolls. And then this hand is eating a pizza roll. We'll say, yeah, pizza rolls. All right, I know I said this will be the last page, but I have the idea for this last page, and then this will be a full page. And get back to their apartment. I should probably draw some like doors or something back here. You know, and I'll fix the scale of all this when I get to the big paper, and maybe some like probably that textured floorboard stuff that I was doing, the flesh texture, so that way we're reminded we're in like a flesh-based apartment complex. All right, and then we'll get here back at their door. We have a Teratoma boy. He's gonna be wearing like a fedora, like he's meeting Woodward and Bernstein in a parking garage. And that trench coat with the hood up. All this is in shadow here, so we'll just kind of indicate that with that. He's leaning all casual like. So he's got kind of an arched back that goes in. Well, maybe he's lighting a cigarette. That would be kind of cool. Psst. Bring back the idea of like the light source or whatever. Oop, I did that wrong. That's all right. He's leaning up against their doorway, kind of blocking the entrance or blocking the knob. And then we don't have to draw the bottom half because we can have ghost, gut, maybe the back of his lungs there, and double ghost. say like, what did I write originally? Like, I know who you are and where you're from and how you can get back. So maybe we'll say, I think I can help. Brainlord's, alright, maybe we'll just say Brainlord doesn't know shit. So he's like kind of a rebellious Teratoma boy, and like, all right, so I like that because like so I'm gonna try to justify why there's not a big cigarette and big matches, like I had drawn in the previous comic. But that'll kind of separate him from the other Teratoma boys. Put more shadow on here. No. Shit. I know how. I'm going to put you're the guy. And I know how to get you back. Bum, bum, bum. Page 8. All right, that'll be a good cutoff. Kind of bounced between 1 and 4 views. I'm kind of surprised that I had so much engagement on here. A couple of people in the chat, thank you very much for chatting with me, even if it was just a hi and a hello. 3 people watching right now, so I really appreciate y'all stopping by. But yeah, I think I'm going to call it here. We got 1, 2, 3 more pages storyboarded, which I think is pretty good. We're well on our way to being able to start the pencils at the very least, and then kind of storyboard further into the future. We'll have a more established kind of through line. But thank you very much for stopping by. Maybe I'll do another one of these. It was a lot of fun. And yeah. Get a copy of Gut and Ghost this Friday in my Shopify. And if you don't want to wait and you don't want to pay shipping, I have digital versions available. You get a PDF that you can read on any device that allows you to read PDFs, and then you'll also have the page layouts that you can print your own bootleg Gut and Ghost and you know, save on shipping and still have a physical copy for yourself. Thank you very much, guys. Y'all have a good one. Bye.